Congratulations on the win, man. That was a hell of a fight. You've obviously had a few minutes to compose yourself and think about it. How do you feel the fight went?
I had a tough opponent in front of me on 2 weeks' notice. I knew he was going to bring the heat, but this has been a project that I've been working on for over 10 years. And I'm just super blessed to have this opportunity to be here and perform in the UFC and, represent where I'm from. And, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I had COVID at the end of October. I was in quarantine for 2 weeks. The day after I got out of quarantine, that's when the UFC called. So it was a bit of a toss-up, but I said, hey, if I get this opportunity, I have to take it. And, hey, sometimes if you don't take it, you don't get it. So I just put all my stuff together, got my mind right, and came in and got the result. I really feel like I could have put him away earlier, but like I said, Lewis is a tough guy. Hits hard. He hit me in the back of the head a couple of times, end of the first round. I got a little bit out of it, but recovered well. And as you saw, finished the fight and feeling great, man. Feeling really, really good.
How bad was your COVID? Did you have any symptoms or anything?
Yeah, 3 days I was, wicked headache, really tired, and then I lost my taste and smell, which was really weird as well. But I want to give a shout out to Lorenzo Pavlica at Primetime Performance. He took me up to Potosi Mountain, 6,000 feet, and had me running in the snow. Cleared those lungs out, and then of course John Wood with Syndicate MMA. He has been such a huge help for me since I moved to Vegas from Hong Kong. I've been here literally to the day. 1 year I've been living in Vegas. This is my new home. The goal was to come here and, get the opportunity to maybe take something on short notice and fight in the UFC. And he's been my right-hand man and mentoring me through this process. And one of my best friends, Matthew Polino, flew out here from Singapore. He's now my roommate. So we've just been grinding and working. And, all my teammates at Syndicate, Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis, all these guys have been pushing me and just getting me better every day. And, I couldn't have done it without all these people. And it's a team effort. And I'm just super glad that I got this opportunity. And here we are.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Sasha, great fight.
Thank you.
Did you know that you were a 5-1 underdog going in? And how did that affect you? And why do you think that was the case?
It's really funny. My father was sending me nonstop predictions from these guys on YouTube telling me that I was garbage and how Lewis was just going to put me out in the first round. And, that really dug deep to me, and it hurt because I'm like, man, you guys know nothing about me, man. I've been in this game since I was 5 years old. I was one of the best karate fighters in Southeast Asia growing up as a kid, and I've been fighting forever. And for them to put that on me, it kind of put a chip on my shoulder. And I no disrespect to Lewis, man, but he's been fighting in his own backyard in California against guys that, in my opinion, I would never fight because I would never fight someone with such a bad record. And I fought 5-round fights. I fought against world Sambo champions. I've been training with some of the best fighters in the world. The current world welterweight champion Kamaru Usman was a training partner of mine back in 2016. So I've been there, and I knew what I was capable of. And to hear all these people that have never fought in their life tell me that I'm garbage, and to see my odds line, I think I was like plus 450 or something crazy like that. And the people that were close to me, they were like, man, we're putting all our money on you, dude. So I was like, I had to go out there and get the result. You know what I mean? I had a lot of support. I'm an international kid. I'm from a lot of places. I had people supporting me from Russia, Scotland, Hong Kong, UK, Europe. So I had a lot of people that were wishing me good luck. And I can't go in there and just fold. I had to come out there and come out with that W. And that's exactly what I did.
Absolutely. He came out really strong. Did he ever have you hurt?
There was one point in the fight where he caught one of my kicks and I tried to Granby roll out of it. And I took a couple shots in the back of my head. I got a bit of a hematoma on the back of my head. The ref didn't catch it. It kind of miscombobulated me a little bit, but I was able to just get my wits back and, separate and just catch my breath and get back to work. I could tell, he was a strong guy. He's very muscular. And usually those builds, if they don't get people out early, they start to gas and those lungs start to burn. And I'm a guy that's got very good conditioning and I can go. I mean, I fought 5-minute rounds, and, I train at Syndicate. They train us to get us ready. Like we're in there working every day, hour and a half drilling. We're sparring. We're going hard. John Wood knows exactly what the recipe is to make sure we don't get tired in that ring. And, and it showed tonight. Third round, I came out so fresh. You could see I was light on my feet, and some of the doctors were like, man, where did that come from? And I said, it's just how we train.
Absolutely. Last question for me. His output really started to decrease. Was that, you think, because the extra muscle? Did you hear him gasping for breath? Or did you think you hurt him? Because it looked like he just wasn't the same fighter after that first round.
You know, we got into a couple clinch situations where we were going kind of knee for knee, and his knees were not touching me as deep as my knees. I was going through his, I was trying to go through his spine with my knees, whereas his were just touching me, and I could feel his energy. Excuse me. I could feel his energy start to dissipate, and I believe I landed a spinning back kick in the third round, and I felt everything go out. And not long after that, I landed that right hand, and that's kind of been a big successful strike for me. When I land right hands on people, they usually go down or they start shooting like crazy. And my whole career, every time I touch somebody, they shoot on my legs. And wrestling defense is something that I worked, 10 years so I can keep it standing. I'm a stand-up striker. I'm a technical fighter, and I believe when given the opportunity to put on a full camp performance, this was, again, 2 weeks notice, I'm really going to highlight and I'm really going to put on a show for the fans. And I feel like this was just a small little taste of what I can really bring to the cage.
Great work. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, sir.
Sasha, right in the front. Did you think you needed the finish in the third round?
I did. I really did. I go into every fight trying to finish the fight. I don't ever want to go a decision. I don't try to find the easy route. Like I said, I knew this guy was going to come hard. I knew it. Like, I had to dig deep to get where I wanted to go. But I knew if I put everything together and I would get him out. I in my mind, I was envisioning a first round finish. For some reason, I thought a head kick or a flying knee would kind of end the fight. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But once I started to get my jab and my range and my footwork, I could see how tired he was. And like I said, once that right hand landed, it was a case of the end of the fight.
Were your coaches telling you to lay off the kicks? It's kind of what was the reason for that?
He was timing me on my kicks a little bit, and I wasn't setting them up as well as I would have liked to. That's a bit on my probably on my preparation a little bit more. I'm very confident in my kicks, but like I said, 2 weeks notice with COVID, I didn't want to go crazy with my output. I wanted to keep a nice pace and be able to come out and just put a pace on him. And you could see it when he started shooting blind on me. I could tell he was so gassed. And, like I said, I like to pity patter, work my way up and start to increase it. And when you saw that right hand land right on his, I think it was on his jaw, on his ear, you could just see he just went down, and I just had to get him out of there.
This might be phrasing it, but is the last minute fight for your debut is there any benefits to that, considering you don't have to dwell on it for as long as if you had to go through a long, grueling camp? It's
like a 50-50 situation. Sometimes you like to have that time where you can really work and get that preparation in. But in reality, 2 weeks kind of was like the perfect situation. I fought in Dubai back in September, came out of that fight without any injuries, so I could just kind of continue. The COVID obviously kind of, was a little hiccup on the road, but at the same time, I was able to heal like a couple little niggly injuries. And then, next thing I know, I get the UFC call up, and then I've got that big jolt of energy that's like, all right, man, we got to go in there and get it done. My manager, Daniel Rubenstein, he's been amazing and helping me get to where I need to go. And, John was in my ear and just telling me, man, look, you've got the ability to be amazing. You got the ability to do such amazing things in this promotion. So, let's just get our head down. Let's get in. Let's train. Let's work. Let's focus. And here we are.
One final one. Joe Rogan said you yelled something at him after the fight. What'd you yell at him?
He's my hero. I mean, I've been watching Joe since Fear Factor, since I was a teenager. So just the opportunity to just see him watching one of my fights, commentating on one of my fights, and then being able to be interviewed by him was pretty surreal, let alone DC. I love DC. He's one of my favorite fighters. And John Anik, and just this whole environment, seeing all you guys in front of me it's a blessing, because I'm usually the one on the computer watching you guys interview the fighters. So to come out here, and again, I'm a Hong Kong kid, born and raised, first ever in the UFC, and just to have this opportunity to not only put a highlight on Hong Kong fighters, because there are Hong Kong fighters that are up and coming young guys. I just want to give that motivation to them to keep working, and that opportunity will come if you just keep working. I've been working on this for a very long time. Ups and downs, you just got to keep working, keep following your dreams, and it's all going to come together eventually.
With the UFC calling you the day after you were done with quarantine, did they know you'd been sick and you'd been in talks with them, or was this just purely out of the blue?
I'm gonna tell you a really funny story. So I was supposed to corner my buddy Sean Strickland in his first fight with Jack Marchman, and when I went and got my COVID test, came back positive. So that was the first indication that I had it. I hadn't felt any symptoms, and then all of a sudden, boom, I just got, I lost my smell, I lost my taste. My fiance's in France, and I haven't seen her in 6 months. I originally booked a flight on the 3rd of November, but because of their lockdowns, they canceled my flights. So that day that I was supposed to leave, my manager texted me and was like, "We got a fight for you in the UFC." So I was like, holy smokes, like it was all meant to be, just that opportunity to be in the UFC. But my fiance was like, oh, she was so upset. But I'm sure she's happy now. So here we are.
So were you 100% going into training, and probably not into training, but going into this fight?
I truly believe I was as close as I could be to 100%. But, with the COVID, the first week back, it was rough. I was going through some kind of battles in my mind. There was a couple seconds where I thought maybe I needed to talk to Danny and just let him know, like, I don't know if I can do this. But as soon as I was up running in the mountains, I'm telling you, I was putting in 10K and 10K in the mountains, just running uphill in the snow. I don't know if that's a remedy to curing your lungs, but it worked for me. I was able to hack out all that garbage in my lungs and came back on Monday and just felt like how I was supposed to feel. And of course, working with John and Matthew Polino, we were just grinding. And, I was doing pad sessions 2-3 times a day, running, grinding. I mean, this is all I've been doing my whole life. And if some virus is going to prevent me from it, I'm going to have to fight through it and just push. And, like I said, 2 weeks is not ideal, but I fought on 5 days notice with a torn meniscus against Munir Lazez. I'm a fighter at the end of the day. I don't pick my fights. If the fight comes to me, I'm ready to take it. I'm a motivated individual, and I believe that I have one of the strongest mindsets. You could see it in the fight today. That guy was hitting me in the back of my head. And I just came through. I just kept pushing, and I knew I was going to get that finish. There was nothing that was going to stop me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.